What's up, YouTube? Honeybee here, bringing you a new Mortal Kombat 11 EVO pool slash bracket breakdown. There's a lot of people entering Mortal Kombat 11 at EVO, 1,567 entrants to be exact. So there is a lot of pools. I believe there's 128 pools. So I'm not going to be going through all the pools in this video. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to kind of go through the paths of like a lot of what we're going to see from a lot of the well-known players and what their paths are kind of going to look like at EVO, so you can kind of anticipate the matchups that you're potentially going to see there. So with that said, let's take a look at Smash.gg for the EVO brackets. Alright guys, so we are currently on the EVO Smash.gg tournament page, and for those of you that don't know, EVO is very quickly approaching us. It's on August 2nd to 4th. For Mortal Kombat 11 and in particular, it starts on August 2nd, that's a Friday, and on the Saturday, August 3rd, it's going to continue, I believe, for pools and like top whatever that they get to, and finals are actually going to be on Saturday as well. If you see here, right now we're looking at top 32 predictions for EVO. If I were to look at the actual pools, you'll see that there's a lot to go through. If I start from round 1, these are all pool matches, so I'm not going to go through each individual bracket because that would actually be an hour or longer for the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through some of the main players, known players for like their paths if we look at projected brackets. So right now we're in the top 32 section. If I look, for example, SonicFox, and I go backwards, you can kind of see what his path is going to be like. So I'm just going to go back a few steps here, and like we can even start at his pool. So this is SonicFox's pool. I'm not aware of anyone that's in this whole area besides Sonic. What's really weird though is like this is like a pool, but people make it out like there's a top end and like a bottom end. So like one pool essentially like multiple people will actually make it out. Like actually 4 people technically make it out of one pool, I guess. So that's kind of interesting. What's really cool is, assuming everyone wins, that they're projecting SonicFox and Perfect Legend. This matchup, like everyone knows about the whole 13-0 thing. I don't know how many times they've played in tournaments since that whole thing happened, but it's been a few times, and I don't believe SonicFox has lost to Perfect Legend anytime recently. I'm not sure if he's actually ever lost to Perfect Legend at all. I actually don't know if SonicFox lost to Perfect Legend in tournament before, but it looks like they're queued to potentially meet up in bracket. We have Newbie and Magician would be over here, which is kind of exciting because winner of that would fight Sonic over here. Unlikely that Sonic would lose to them, but it is a first of 2 after all, and it is possible. Like Newbie and Magician are strong players, and you never know. So could be thrown in Sonic's path, could potentially take him out, and then it says here at which point he would have to fight Silver Eye, and then it's projecting Tekken Master to make top 8. Now there's a lot that can go down before you get to this point, so the odds of this actually happening, you know, hard to say exactly what it is, but we can even look at like Silver Eye's path, for example. If we look back a couple rounds, we'll see that Silver Eye actually has Sakron in his path. Sakron from Russia, I believe. I've never seen him play, but he was actually a strong player in Mortal Kombat X days. He qualified for, I'm pretty sure, multiple seasons of ESL. And he's going to be in Silver Eye's path. We see Infinity is on the opposite side here, where she's going to potentially end up meeting Silver Eye here. And then we also have Buffalo, aka Daddy, over here, that he might run into Silver Eye. Now, I know Silver Eye said in the past, or that I think at CEO, he ended up getting top 8 there. And he actually... Now, don't quote me on this, but I think he beat a couple Sub-Zeros in his path. So I think he's quite confident in the Sub-Zero Liu Kang matchup. So I feel like he might be poised to do well against Buffalo if they were to meet. And then if that all happens, we'll have Silver Eye versus SonicFox. Here we see Tekken Master. Let's just go back a little bit. So here we are. Matrix, this guy I was thinking about before. He plays Noob Saibot, to my knowledge. And so he might be meeting up with Tekken Master here. Nubcakes is also in this area. Nikki's in this area too. As far as predictions would go, though, I don't see any reason why Tekken Master wouldn't be able to get at least to top 32 winners. I feel like he most likely would. Nubcakes could make an upset if he were to get here too, but I feel like Tekken Master is most likely to make it to top 32 on the winner's side. I feel like he's very strong. He just got a second at Vianality, so I think he's probably going to do quite well. If we look over here, yeah, let me start looking over like in this area. We have like Dizzy TT expected to fight Trey Pound here, and we have Toxin expected to fight Chris G here. Chris G used to use Noob Saibot like Toxin, but I think as of late he's been using a lot of Scorpion. If they were to fight here, I think Toxin could definitely get here. I think Dizzy can definitely get here. If they were to fight each other, Dizzy's the favorite to win. He is a very strong player, and it definitely could happen that way. And it seems like if it does all go down that way, we would have Dizzy versus Tekken Master here. Winner fight SonicFox here. So obviously, my prediction would be SonicFox is going to get all the way to here. I kind of predict Tekken Master to get here, like the predictions for the projected ones go, and having them fight each other. My prediction would be SonicFox to make it in winner side top 8 for this whole big block. There's like if there's 1567 people, like that's like give or take 400 people in like each block. Like this is a block, this is a block. There's like 4 blocks that could make it into winners. So like it's kind of crazy to think like if you're in a block, only one person out of like 400 people in that block will be able to make winner's side top 8. So that's kind of insane, but I do think it'll be Sonic for this. If we look at this other block, we have Hayate over here. I don't know if he'll have any like very strong players in his path. Like Detroit Ballin is here, but I haven't seen any of his gameplay, so it's hard for me to say like how good he is. But it doesn't look like Hayate has like anyone like super well known in his path before he gets that far. So I don't see any reason why Hayate wouldn't get there to at least like this area, I would say. And then here he has like Cusco in his path, but I feel like Hayate is like super ready for like Sonya. I think he knows the matchup really well. So I think Hayate should be able to make it here pretty easily. DJT and MIT are actually in the same path here, which is kind of interesting. Big D is over here. I don't know if anyone's in his path that would likely trip him up. Milky Situation's here, and he actually got top 8 at EVO in 2015 for MKX's first year, but he hasn't really competed that much since, to my knowledge. But Big D is expected to get there to at least this area. DJT is going to be in this area too, where I don't know if there's any really big names in his path. Chris T, I believe, is a Street Fighter player. We have MIT and Hero Killer Stain might meet up. So it's very possible that DJT and MIT might have like a little bit of a brother kill battle over here, and winner would move on to fight Big D. I think all the predictions there are pretty in line with what I would predict. I think DJT would beat MIT. I think Big D fighting DJT really could go either way, but I'm going to give it to Big D, and then at which point he would have Hayate. Now, it says that Hayate would win against Big D. Most likely, yeah, that would happen. And we see on this other end, we have Scar and Deoxys. If we look back a little, let's just see what some of their people in their path. King Gambler is in Scar's path, or Han Rashid if he were to beat Gambler. I think it's likely that this would happen here, and it's likely that Scar would win. Deoxys has Crazy in his path. Waz has Zach Robb in his path. Now, Zach Robb is a really strong... he's actually sponsored by UIU for this event because he won some kind of tournament where like the winner would get a trip to EVO from UIU. So I believe Zach Robb won that, and that's why he's UIU Zach Robb for EVO. But yeah, Waz is going to have him in his path. Waz, I feel like most likely would win though against Zach Robb, and at which point he'd fight Deoxys. Now Waz versus Deoxys. Deoxys is the favorite, and like all this, I'm kind of in line with it, I would say. Scar versus Deoxys, like all of this is pretty like reasonable, I would say, to think that. What sucks is they don't actually have fantasy brackets. I wish they had fantasy brackets. But then it says Hayate is supposed to fight Scar for top 8. I kind of feel like Scar might actually take that one over Hayate. They predict Hayate to win. I think mainly because he's a higher seed right now from winning Vianality. If we look in this next block, Foxy's here. And who does he have in his path? He has Splash, it says. Too Easy is here. And it says Rewind is here too. And Too Easy is actually predicted to beat Rewind. I think Too Easy might have more points right now because Rewind hasn't done so well thus far in the Pro Series. But I definitely think Rewind has what it takes. Like, he can beat Too Easy. I think he could even beat Foxy potentially. But most likely Foxy's the one to advance here. I see Fasol is here. I think he's like from Spain, a really strong player from MKX, I think, that used Kung Lao, if I'm not mistaken. Kevo is here. He got top 8 at CEO, and it looks like Shark Teeth is here. He just got top 8 at Vianality. But these are the predictions that Foxy and Kevo would advance through here, and I think that's a pretty safe prediction. Foxy supposed to beat Kevo from predictions, and I think that's most likely gonna happen. On this side we have Combat and Samij. Combat has Rizza in his path. Rizza has Alcatraz there. Samij has Double Trigger. Oh, Forever King is here too, and Cosner. But I think Forever King and Samij would be a good match. I think Samij has been playing some Cassie as of late. Before he was playing Katana, he didn't do that well at CEO, and I think that actually made him want to change characters, because I feel like I've seen quite a bit of Katana from him. King, I've been seeing a lot of, I mean, not Katana from Samij, Cassie from Samij. And King's been using quite a bit of Shang Tsung, so that's going to be interesting. But they definitely might fight, and really could go either way. If I were to bet on one person, I'd probably bet on Mij. And then over here, I would bet on Combat to make it through this area. So if Combat and Mij fight, they say Combat's going to win, which is a fair prediction. And then the winner of that would fight Foxy. And I think, yeah, I think Foxy could definitely take it, and Foxy could make top 8 on the winner side. So right now I have SonicFox predicted. I'm going to say Scar over here, and I'm going to say Foxy over here. So now we're moving into the last block. And the last block, as we can see here, has Dragon. And Dragon has potentially Jur or Ominous in his path. And if we look over here, there's me. I'll take a little bit of a closer look at my pool, because it looks like its stuff got shifted a little bit, because this is one it was like recently. But it looks like Bio has Twixie here, but I have Get Wrecked in my path, and he actually won a trip to EVO because he won the CGL tournament, I believe, taking out some pretty good names there. So Get Wrecked is going to be in my path. And let me just see here. We have, so yeah, Dragon would fight Bio, assuming Bio makes it there, but I'm going to hope that I do instead. Sorry, Bio. But yeah, if we look a little bit further back, let's just look at what my path is actually going to look like, since I can actually take a look. So these are the people in this path. I know El Chacote is like a Street Fighter player, but I don't know how much he really plays MK11. I'm not 100% sure if I know anyone else in this area, but if I can take them all out, I might have Revolver, who was like a really good player back in Injustice 1, but hasn't really competed that much since. Like he has competed in MKX and I think Injustice 2 here and there, but not a whole lot. I might have him in my path, at which point I might have Get Wrecked. And if I can get through them, have Bio. If I get through Bio, I'll have most likely Dragon over here in top 32 winners. At which point winner of that would end up going here to fight either Tweety or Gur as it's predicted. But let's take a look through the predictions just to see what their paths are kind of looking like. We have Coach Steve in the path of Tweety over here, but Trap Hustler is also here. And Trap Hustler, he beat me at CEO. He has a really good Thin Ice Sub-Zero, so he could beat Coach Steve. I could see it happening. and at which point he would have Tweety. But I think Tweety is most likely going to make it into winner side top 32. And we have Gur over here, and Katana Prime is actually here. Tsunami is in his path, and I think Gur is most likely to win, to get into that area. Gur has been leveling up a lot. I feel like he's gotten really good. Like he even beat Dragon at the E-League like RTX tournament, where he beat Dragon, got like $5,000 for it, and it was like a really good grand final set. I think Gur reset the bracket 3-2, and then he won 3-2, and it was a really good set. You guys should check that out if you haven't, or look for that. But yeah, I'm gonna say Gur would beat Tweety at this point, and then at this point, like, odds are Dragon is gonna make it here, but hopefully, you know, I can make it instead. If I can beat like Get Wrecked, Bio, and Dragon to make it into this area, at which point I would potentially have Gur. You know, if I win, top 8 winners. At which point it'd be interesting to have Foxy as a first opponent in the winner side. But if I don't make it, most likely I'm going to say Dragon is going to make it, because I think Dragon is ridiculous at this game. So those are my predictions when it comes to the EVO brackets. I think it's going to be a great tournament. You guys should definitely tune in. It's probably going to get a lot of attention, and I think this is going to be hopefully an amazing tournament for NetherRealm Games, for Mortal Kombat 11. Hope to see you guys there, and thank you for checking out the video.